So what we have here today are two BMW 3 Series sedans. One is black and the other silver. Now which one should you choose? Well, personally speaking, I prefer the black one because it just looks better and more sporty, and it goes so well with BMW's sports sedan image. However, I do wish the decision was as straightforward as that today. I say this because these two are different cars. The black one is the regular 3 Series, a car that we absolutely love here at autoX, and the silver one is the long wheelbase version of the same car that's going to go on sale in India very soon. To the untrained eye, they both look exactly the same, and for the most part they are actually the same cars because they are based on the same platform. Now the one you see on my left is the Gran Limousine version of the 3 Series, the regular 3 Series that you see on my right. Now this one has a longer wheelbase. It's 110 millimeters longer than this one. And according to BMW, that translates into an extra knee room of 43 mm, which is about this much. So you think you should really care about that? Is it just a marketing gimmick, or does it really make any sense? Well, that's what we are here to find out as we pitch both of these cars against each other. So because this is based on the same platform, of course the interior is exactly the same as the standard 3 Series. Of course this comes with a different upholstery. This has this walnut brown and black, which looks quite good. But in terms of features and equipment, it's more or less the same. So the cabin, the cockpit is driver focused, and as you can see, all the controls, the touchscreen, everything is focused toward the driver. And that is very typical of BMWs. So in that regard, from the front seat, it feels exactly the same. The seat is low, and you can set it really low. It feels very sporty, and it is the same 3 Series. However, this gets a couple of new features, and the most important one, I think, is now that this touchscreen now packs Android Auto, that's wireless. However, I couldn't use it because I couldn't get it running. It won't connect to my phone. I tried it with another phone as well, but it just won't connect. It was very tricky, and I wasted nearly half an hour. So I don't know how it functions, but for me it didn't work, and I tried really hard. So I guess once you get it working, it will be a nice feature, because so far the 3 Series, the regular 3 Series, still doesn't have Android Auto. But this one gets the updated screen, so of course it has Android Auto. Now one more important bit that this car gets over the standard 3 Series is that it comes with a Harman Kardon music system, which is not available with the 3 Series. Now the 3 Series Gran Limousine was launched in China first, a country known for short people with big egos. So that's what the new 3 Series Gran Limousine is here to do. It's going to massage your ego because it's basically a 3 Series but with an extended wheelbase, and it is going to offer more space at the back. Now 43 mm of knee room might not sound that much, but if you compare it with the standard car, it really does make a difference, because in here I'm sitting very comfortably as compared to the standard car, where, as you can now see, I'm sitting quite upright. But this one I'm relaxed. The seat is not angled that much. It is very comfortable position, and the front driver seat is set exactly at the same distance from the pedals like in the standard 3 Series. So we ensured that the distance, everything, we measure it perfectly. So in that regard, I think of course it's a lot more spacious. And it's not just the space, this car also has better seats. The cushioning is really nice, the thigh support is better, and it also feels more premium, because this one, like the armrest in here, it feels a touch too premium as compared to the one in the regular 3 Series, which feels a little too tacky. But this one, again, they've tried to up that premium quotient. Now the most important update in this cabin is that it now comes with a panoramic sunroof, and that also adds to its premiumness. The regular 3 Series is not offered with a panoramic sunroof, it just comes with a normal sunroof. And one more thing, the seats around here, as you can see, these are nicely scooped out, and high quality plastic, softest plastic is around here, and there's a nice compartment here with the rubbery effect, so it definitely feels premium. Of course, the boot space hasn't changed that much, but it now comes with a power tailgate, which again is not offered with the standard 3 Series. So overall, the 3 Series Gran Limousine, well, not only is it more spacious, it also feels more premium, and it comes with more features as well. The 3 Series Gran Limousine is offered with the exact same engine options as the regular 3 Series. That means you have 320D as well as the 330i, which is a petrol motor. So the one I'm driving now, it's the 320LD. That means it has a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged diesel engine. Now this behaves exactly the same as it does in the regular 3 Series. That means it's super refined, it is a brisk performer, and it performs exactly in the same manner. It has the same sort of performance, as in it's very linear, very refined, and from where I'm sitting, you can't really figure out if it's a diesel or it's a petrol, because the refinement levels are crazy. I mean, it's really good. What really works in this engine's favor is that the insulation inside the cabin is great, so you can't hear anything from the outside world. So when you're driving normally in the city, you don't really feel it's a diesel. It's very linear, it revs very quickly. Of course, after 3000 to 4000 RPM, you can hear the engine gets a little gruff, and you can feel it's a diesel. It doesn't rev like a petrol at the top end, but for the most part, it's really a refined and a great powertrain. It has the performance, and I can't sing enough praises about the 8-speed ZF gearbox. Now this gearbox, many manufacturers use it, but in the BMW, it really comes into its own. And in the new 3 Series, plus with this engine, the gearbox, it is marvelous. They are made it to perfection. Every time it's so telepathic, it's like as if the gearbox can read your mind. You always find yourself in the right gear at the right time. So in that regard, I think this powertrain is really flawless. None of the competitors feel this engaging. Of course, I just drove the A4 with a petrol engine, but even in the A4, which comes with the dual clutch automatic, which is the fastest transmission in the world, even then you can catch it napping sometimes. But this gearbox, whenever you ask for a downshift, whenever you ask for an upshift, it's just ready to serve you that. Now the main question is, does that 110 millimeters of extra wheelbase, does it affect the handling of the 320 Gran Limousine? Has it diluted that driver focus? Because this car, let's be honest, it's made for people who prefer rear seat space over driver's seat. So has it affected the handling of the car? Well, to be honest, from where I'm sitting, I can't really make that out. I was driving the standard version, the 320D, yesterday, and I drove it the whole day, and I felt it is really a great car. Even though the 330i is in a different league, the 320D, for a diesel, it drives really well. It handles beautifully. So I was driving that car yesterday, and I only drove it because I wanted to gauge this thing against the regular 3 Series. And to be honest, till now I haven't found any difference. I don't know if there is 110 millimeters of extra space at the back or whatever there is, but from here, from where I'm sitting, from behind the wheel, it feels exactly the same. Now the thing is, this car, it's been done by BMW, and it was developed alongside the new 3 Series when they were developing the 7th generation model. So it's not a compromise in terms of dynamics, because it maintains that 50-50 weight distribution like the standard car. The chassis has the same stiffness, and it feels exactly the same as a result. You don't really feel that, you know, it's a longer car or there's any compromise in that sense. The ride quality is also more or less comparable. I think this is a little better, but of course at really low speeds, if you go over a speed hump, you can feel it's a little stiff. The steering is really direct. Of course, it feels a little dead at center, but overall, it is the same car. It behaves exactly in the same manner. And this generation of the 3 Series, the G20, well, it's really a masterpiece. Of course, BMW, the previous generation, which was the F30, they had gone a bit soft because they were chasing comfort over driver focus. But with this, they've gone back to their roots, and it definitely shows. The front end is so pointy, the throttle response, everything in this car, you put it in sport mode, it just becomes sharper. And this is a diesel version we are talking about. If you get the 330iM, which looks absolutely fantastic, and it's also available with the Gran Limousine version. So I think it really is the driver's car, and you also get the rear seat space. So if you prefer driving more, I think the 330i version should be the one that you should go for. But if you're after efficiency, if you want a diesel, I think the 320D can also keep you really entertained, because it's not just about the engine. I mean, the engine is the absolute best part, of course, of the 330i, but the chassis of this car, it just feels it is truly a sports sedan. You drive an Audi A4, you drive a Volvo S60, you drive a C-Class, you drive an XC, and you think that all of these cars are very close to each other, and that is the case. But the moment you get behind the wheel of a BMW 3 Series, well, that's when you come to realize that BMW has that something extra. They have it in their genes. The way this car corners, the way the front end feels. This is an everyday sedan, but still, I mean, it's so entertaining. Really, there's no doubt in my mind that, the 3 Series is the best. And the Gran Limousine, well, it offers the best of both worlds. Now it has the space nearly comparable to a 5 Series, and the performance is there, obviously, just like the 3 Series. I mean, you can't complain about anything. I think this is probably the perfect car. For me personally, I'll choose the 330i M Sport variant because that gets even more features than the 320LD. But what a car. I mean, I'm really impressed.
The 3 Series Gran Limousine will be available in 3 variants, 2 petrol and a diesel. And these will be priced between 51 lakh and 55 lakh rupees, which makes the long wheelbase version around 4 to 5 lakh rupees more expensive than the regular sedan.
As it turns out, the BMW 3 Series Gran Limousine is actually the real deal because it comes pretty close to being the perfect BMW sports sedan. On one side, it offers the thrills of the 3 Series, the regular 3 Series, and there is no compromise on that front. And on the other hand, the leg space at the back, the space is comparable to the 5 Series. So the long wheelbase 3 Series, it really hits that sweet spot between the 3 Series and the 5 Series. And for this reason alone, I think the BMW 3 Series Gran Limousine is going to be a winner.